Yes, thank you, Convener. Yes, I'd echo what Gemma has just said there. We would welcome these changes and the proposals made, especially in relation to remittal to the children's hearing system. Currently, only an average of 7 or 8% of children who appear in adult courts are remitted to the children's hearing system. And as you'll know, this is a system where they actually can participate and their needs are taken into account. So we'd welcome that especially, but also that young people their needs are being recognised up to age 25. We know the evidence with brain development, and we know about the complexities that many young people in our justice system face. Speech, language and communication needs, the brain development, brain injury and other issues and traumas that they have faced in their life. So for these to be taken into account when sentencing is being made is definitely a welcome decision. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ms Dyer. And I'd just like to ask a follow-up question, again, both to Ms Fraser and I'll bring in Ms Dyer. Obviously, given the important principle of judicial independence, I'm just interested in how or what you think about how that will be implemented throughout Scotland and not perhaps applied only in a few sort of areas or sort of sheriffdoms. We've already seen from the work of Audit Scotland that sentencing data shows some geographical variation in the use of community sentences. So, for example, the number of CPOs per 10,000 population in 2019 to 2020 ranged from 16 in East Renfrewshire to 69 in Clackmannanshire. So I'm just interested, I'll maybe start with yourself, Ms Fraser, if you've got any sort of commentary or response around that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's important to note in terms of geographical variance that areas do not experience the same types of crime and offending and do not therefore need the same responses. I think it's important to take those figures in a context of how many individuals are in custody, how many individuals are diverted, thus getting earlier access to the system or could be brought closer into the system. I think where we need to think about judicial impartiality, that is a hugely important thing in Scotland. And it should be preserved because it supports a system that is hugely admired across the world. However, how we ensure that not just the judiciary but the public have confidence in what is being delivered in communities is about our effective communication of what sits and underpins community justice. So in order to ensure those things come through and aren't used in a small subset of individuals, we have to make sure those lines of communication are open with our community justice deliverers, but also the individuals who experience community sentences and the benefits that they've received from that. I think this goes a long way to helping these things be promoted and put into place at the right times. Certainly in Community Justice Scotland, we've supported an information project at the moment in order to achieve that, but it's also how we influence Crown Office, defence agents and other individuals in thinking about decision making and what might be suitable for those individuals who receive it.
Thank you very much. I'll bring in Ms Dyer just now, and I'll bring in, following that, I'll maybe ask Hannah Graham to come in. So, Ms Dyer?
Thank you. Yes, I agree again with what Gemma said, although I think it's important, there is differences in decision making, and we've seen that with some of the research we've undertaken at the Children and Young People Centre for Justice in relation to bail and remand, supervised bail, and what sentencers believe is appropriate and how many chances some young people may or may not get. So hopefully the sentencing guidelines will be supported by training and sort of potential guidelines for the judiciary so that we can involve some consistency in relation to decisions that are being made, because I think that's also important.
Thank you very much.